How can I help you?
Hello, drug and alcohol.
I'm sorry?
Drug and alcohol.
I'm sorry?
Who are you calling?
Who do you want to speak to?
Excuse me, but you're calling me.
Well, this is a long-distance company. How can I help you?
Why are you calling under drug and alcohol?
I'm calling you where, ma'am?
I don't know if you know what number you're calling, but you're calling continuous. You've called 10 times, because every time it's recorded.
Well, this is a long-distance company, so they're calling us just to offer the long-distance service. Would you like to
I have it recorded. I'll have the police call you.
Okay.
You're calling drug and alcohol.
Okay, and what do you need, ma'am?
You're the person calling drug and alcohol.
I don't call anywhere, ma'am. This is a long-distance company. They're calling us just to offer you the long-distance service. Would you like
what
the
number you're
information?
dialing?
I'm sorry?
Do you know what number you're dialing?
I'm not calling anywhere, ma'am.
Well, I'm not, because you're arguing with me that I'm calling you, and I am not calling you.
Nobody's arguing with you, ma'am. What do you need?
Yes, it's got this up because you're harassing.
Okay, the harassment is coming from the other side, ma'am. Thank you for calling.
Why are you calling under drug and alcohol?
Good afternoon. How may I direct your call?
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Who are you calling?
I'm sorry?
Do you know what number you're dialing?
No, ma'am.
Excuse me, but you're calling me.
Well, you just asked if I called you, and I say no, ma'am.
I don't know if you know what number you're calling, but you're calling continuous. You've called 10 times, because every time it's recorded.
Well, ma'am, we apologize for the inconvenience. Would you like to put your phone number on a do not call list?
What are you calling drug and alcohol for?
Excuse me, ma'am. If you're screaming, I don't understand you. That's difficult for me.
You're calling drug and alcohol.
Alcohol?
You're the person calling drug and alcohol.
No, ma'am. We are a communication.
Yes, it has. It's got this up because you're harassing.
Harassing?
That is right. I've got a recording here. It's 10 times you called us.
Ma'am, I'm asking you if you want me to put you on the no call list. I will be able if you give me your phone number, because it's a system who does it.
Well, go right ahead. Do what you got to do, honey.
Okay, may I have your phone number, please?
Excuse me? You're calling drug and alcohol.
As I said to you, ma'am, this is a system who does it. Is automatic system who does it.
You're nuts.
Okay, ma'am. So, I don't know what to tell you.
What do you mean, what's the matter, ma'am?
Ma'am, I'm giving you possibilities to remove your phone number from the list.
Why are you calling under drug and alcohol?
Under drug and alcohol. Well, we don't know where we're calling. We just have a system who does it, ma'am. That's a computer, a dialer.
Guess what? You're being taped, every word you say.
Well, ma'am, I'll give you the possibility. If you don't want to give me your phone number, I don't know.
Excuse me, but you're calling me.
1 second, please.
Hi, good afternoon. This is here in charge of making sure that all the people who get called, who normally don't want to be called, I make sure that I take their names off and their numbers. So I'd be more than happy to take that out for you. I'm pretty sure you're upset already and frustrated. So if you could just, if you want, I'll make this, we could take care of this in 20 seconds. All I need is to verify your phone number, and I'll go into the system immediately and personally remove it so that you'll never be bothered by us again.
What are you calling drug and alcohol for?
I'm sorry?
Why are you calling under drug and alcohol?
Why am I calling about what? Alcohol?
Excuse me, but you're calling me.
Right, we're
Yes, it has. It's got this up because you're harassing.
The only way that I can make sure that we never call you again is by you simply verifying your phone number, and what I can do is go into the system, I can enter your phone number, and I can program the system to never call that specific phone number ever again.
You got my
May I
cell phone
please?
number.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, I do not have any cell numbers.
No, I mean, do you know the phone number that we keep calling?
I have it recorded. I'll have the police call you.
Okay, what is your phone number so that I can go ahead and make sure we never call you again?
Excuse me, but you're calling me.
All right, I think,
and Associates.
Hello?
How may I help you?
Who are you calling?
I'm sorry?
Excuse me, but you're calling me.
Excuse me, ma'am, but you just called me.
I don't know who you're calling. Do you know what number you're dialing?
I didn't just dial a number. You just dialed me, ma'am.
What are you calling drug and alcohol for?
I'm sorry?
I don't know if you know what number you're calling, but you're calling continuous. You've called 10 times, because every time it's recorded.
Okay, ma'am, what's the number we're calling? Because I clearly didn't just call you. You just called me, okay?
Drug and alcohol.
I'm sorry?
You're calling drug and alcohol.
Okay, yes, ma'am. You're calling a business right now. You're saying that we called you, right?
Yes.
But you're calling me right now. So was there a message left? You said you recorded it, right?
You're the person calling drug and alcohol.
I called you, me personally.
Uh-huh. You called before and called the other operator a bitch and everything. Now this has got to stop.
What's the claim number that they're calling in regards to, man?
You call me every time and cuss me out.
No, okay, ma'am, I've asked you the same question like 10 times. I'm trying to access the file that we're on so I can at least see what you're talking about. And you're
What's the
screwing
problem?
me. What do you mean, what's the problem? Excuse me, did you say you're currently on drugs and alcohol or you're working for a drug and alcohol place?
Yes.
Which one?
Uh-huh. What's the problem here? Well, there is something the matter.
This is how may I direct your call?
Hello?
Hello?
Who are you calling?
You called in.
Excuse me, but you're calling me.
I'm sorry, you just called in and I answered the phone.
Why are you calling under drug and alcohol?
I'm sorry, what about alcohol?
What are you calling drug and alcohol for?
I'm not calling, I'm not saying anything about alcohol.
Do you know what number you're dialing?
I didn't dial a number. You called in.
I don't know who you're calling.
Ma'am, this is a received call. You called my company.
You're the person calling drug and alcohol.
I didn't call drug and alcohol.
I don't know if you know what number you're calling, but you're calling continuous. You've called 10 times, because every time it's recorded.
Oh, you're returning a missed call.
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes more sense. Okay, may I ask who I'm speaking with?
Hello, drug and alcohol.
Okay, I guess we must have had a wrong number. I apologize. Thank
You called
you.
before and called the other operator a bitch and everything. Now this has got to stop.
I'm sorry. I don't understand what you're talking about. Who called who or what?
The phone rang. I answered it. It's drug and alcohol.
Okay, you just said something about a bitch.
Yes, it has. It's got to stop because you're harassing.
I'm trying to figure out what is going on here, ma'am.
You call me every time and cuss me out.
Ma'am, I have never spoken with you before, and I certainly didn't cuss anybody out.
Excuse me?
I said I have not spoken with you before, ma'am, and I have never cursed anybody out. I'm trying to help you figuring out what's going on, ma'am.
What's the problem?
I don't know what the problem is, ma'am.
We'll have the police call you.
I'm sorry?
Bring it on! I don't think you're going to kick my ass.
Thanks for calling. How can I help you out today?
Hello?
What's that?
Hello?
Hello, what can I do for you?
Who are you calling?
You called me.
What are you calling drug and alcohol for?
What's that?
I don't know if you know what number you're calling, but you're calling continuous. You've called 10 times, because every time it's recorded.
Yeah, same here.
You called
you
before
called
and
me.
called the
What
other
would you like,
operator a bitch and everything. Now this has got to stop.
I don't understand what you're talking about. You just called me, man. Do you want to order a product? Or otherwise than that, I can't really help you out.
You call me every time and cuss me out.
I don't know who you are, and I don't call you and do anything.
Yes, it has. It's got to stop because you're harassing.
I don't understand what you're saying, ma'am.
You're the person
But
calling drug and alcohol.
What?
Excuse me?
All right. I don't know what you're saying to me, but I'm going to hang up the phone. All right, you have a great day.
Bring it on!
What?
Bring it on!
What, hanging up the phone? Okay.
You are!
I'm hanging up the phone, yeah.
Because that's what it rang up on.
You're calling about the text message?
Hello?
And your phone number, please?
Yes?
And your phone number, please?
Who are you calling?
You're calling me.
What are you calling drug and alcohol for?
Excuse you?
You're calling drug and alcohol.
Drug and alcohol.
I don't know if you know
about?
what number you're calling, but you're calling continuous. You've called 10 times, because every time it's recorded.
Well, I've never called you. We're an inbound calling center, which means we're only allowed to accept inbound calls.
I don't know what you're talking about, because you're calling drug and alcohol. Ain't nobody calling you.
All right, well, is there something I can help you with?
You called before and called the other operator, a bitch and everything. Now this has got to stop.
Okay, you cuss one more time and I will disconnect the call.
Yes, it's got to stop because you're harassing.
I don't know what you're talking about. We don't call people. We text message them if that's what you're talking about.
You call me every time and cuss me out.
I've never cussed anybody out. This is the first time I've talked to you, ma'am.
We'll have the police call you.
Okay, that's not a problem. I do want to thank you for calling. Then have a nice day,
Bring
okay?
it on!
Excuse you?
Bring it on!
I didn't hear you.
Guess what? You're being taped, every word you say.
Well, that's fine. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing my job.
Bring it
Now,
on!
this is you're calling about the text message or the ad, right?
I wish you would kick my fucking ass, motherfucker.
I'm not saying that.
Motherfucker.
So you know what? I'm
Cocksucker.
disconnecting the call due to cussing, and this is being recorded as well. Do want to thank you for calling, and have a nice day, okay? Thank
What are you
you.
cussing me for?